Another important consideration when designing for different size devices is the images which we use. If we provide a small image on a website, it may suit a small device, but when on larger screens, it will start to become stretched and not look very good. Or if our image is too large, it will take longer to download on mobile devices or places with slower internet connections. The picture element can provide a solution for this. This picture element acts as a container where we can add multiple image sources. A common use is to provide different image sizes to apply for different size devices. We also need some different size images to use too for this example. You can go ahead and use any image which you may already have. All you need to do is save it 3 times in 3 different sizes, such as 300, 600 and 1000 pixels wide. Or if you prefer, I've provided some images for you to download. I have these images saved on the desktop as a 300, 600 and 1000 pixels wide version. So to begin, I'm going to create a new project. So let's right click and go to new folder. And I'm going to call this the picture element. Okay, so then let's open this up in the text editor. Again, I'll be using Visual Studio Code. And then we can go ahead and drag our 3 images into there. Okay, and then let's open up the project folder inside of Visual Studio by dragging it over. Then our index page. So let's close the welcome file and create a new file called the index.html. So to begin, we need our standard HTML structure, including the doc type, the head and the body section. So of course, go ahead and type this all out if you need some practice. Or if you're using Visual Studio Code, you can type HTML:5 and then hit the tab key, and then we get all the structure provided for us. So let's close this sidebar. And first, let's add a title of picture element. Give that a save, and then we can open this up inside the browser. So go to the index.html, and I'm going to open mine in Google Chrome. Okay, so inside the body section, we add the picture element, just like any other element. So we add the picture, opening and closing tags. Inside of here, we can add an image, just like we would normally do. So img, and then close it off. Inside of here, I'm going to add the image source, and this is going to be the pizza-300.jpg. So this is the smallest image which I have saved. If you're using your own images with different names, of course go ahead and add the name which you saved it as. This image element is required as a fallback for if the browser does not support the picture element, although most browsers do now have full support for this. So give that a save, and now we should see the 300 pixels wide image in the browser. We are now going to go ahead and add some more sources. This image element is also the fallback if none of these source elements are matched. So let's take a look at how we can add these in now. So just above the image, we can add the source element. This doesn't have a closing tag, but instead we add the srcset attribute and set this equal to our image that we want to use. So the next size image up was pizza600.jpg. Then we add the media attribute, just like we've seen in the last few videos, where we can add a condition where we want this image to appear. So just like we've seen in previous videos, inside the brackets, we can set the minimum width to be 600 pixels. So this means that this 600 pixels wide image will display if the screen is wider than 600 pixels. If not, this default or fallback image will be used. Give that a save, reload, and now we'll see the 600 pixels wide image has now replaced the smaller one. We can also add more source elements too. So let's do the same for the 1000 pixels image we have here. So just above this, add the source once more. Again with the source set, and this time it's pizza 1000.jpg. Again, we also need to add the media attribute. Inside the brackets, we can set the minimum width, this time to be 1000 pixels. And make sure yours looks like this with the brackets inside of the quotations like that. So just to recap, this pizza 300 is a fallback image if none of these conditions are met. Once the browser gets over 600 pixels wide, we then load up the pizza 600. Once the browser gets even wider, up to 1000 pixels and above, we then get this larger image loaded. We can prove this is working by going over to the browser and then reloading. We initially see the larger 1000 pixels wide image, but we can see this is working if we go into the developer tools. Then if we go to the network, so let's begin by shrinking the browser to our smallest size, which is under 600 pixels. Then reload. To begin with, if we look down the bottom, we can see that there's two files being loaded. We have the index.html page, then we have the pizza-300. If we drag the browser now over 600 pixels, we now see a third file has been downloaded, and this is our pizza-600. The same for the larger image too. If we now drag this to be over 1000 pixels, we now have the pizza-1000 image loaded too. So this picture element is ideal for providing the right size image for each device. It's also worth noting that we've used a media attribute with the minimum width. We can also use any other valid media query type, which we already seen over in the CSS, such as orientation, max width, min height, and so on. So it's really flexible to use.